We do know he had consensual sex, and he went to do what he thought, chose, or whatever to do with his DNA, his material. So her going into the trash can and doing whatever she chose to do, you can't assume any malice aforethought with my client, because it's a booby trap.
Yeah, the law says it doesn't matter. The law says once you make a booby trap, there are no booby traps in this country.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Intrigue Dynamite Show. You should hit that subscribe button, like, and share.
If I throw something out of my house in the mail or in the trash, it is established that once it's out on the curb, process servers, police, private detectives, anyone can pick through it.
Talk about it.
But if it's in my mailbox, that's a federal crime for you to go after the same property.
True.
That's number one. Number two, getting bad medical advice doesn't make a person liable. We're from the South. People eat red dirt. How many bad home remedies are people responsible for? What we do know is we had a man use a condom, which is a contraceptive device used to reduce risk of sexually transmitted disease and curb risk of possible pregnancy. That's what we do know. We do know he had consensual sex, and he went to do what he thought, chose, or whatever to do with his DNA, his material. It was thrown away in a trash can in his home. It wasn't on the curb. It wasn't in the street. We don't know what Mr. Arbery was going to do with that material after that woman left. So her going into the trash can and doing whatever she chose to do, you can't assume any malice aforethought with my client. What if he was going to go back and retrieve it and, I don't know, put it in a think chest or a time capsule?
Kevin, he said that he put hot sauce in the condom to kill the sperm.
Well, yeah, maybe so. Maybe he got bad medical advice.
And
I had a physician that told me that I had a tumor when I actually had stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Jesus.
Happens every time. Medical malpractice, bad medical advice does not mean why he's not the doctor. How many people are in jail right now because they got bad legal counsel?
Facts. Facts. Although a lot of those people did shoot their neighbor, but I see what you're saying. Here's the thing. He also said that he put. It's not the fact that the sperm did or did not die from the hot sauce so much, but the reason that he put the hot sauce in the condom is because he said that he thought that the woman might try to put the contents of the condom inside of her. Right.
When did he say that?
He said that in this article, and I can let me share my screen just to kind of pull it up.
So he's saying that he had multiple reasons: one, to kill the evidence, to kill the DNA, and two, because he was booby trapping.
Well, here's the thing.
Because it's a booby trap. That's what it is.
Right. That's all right. It's a booby trap. It really is, guys. And now,
it's a booby trap. If he actually said that he made a booby trap, then he's legally responsible.
Yeah, he didn't say he made a booby trap. He didn't he didn't say he made a booby trap, but he did say that he wanted to kill the sperm.
I don't know who his legal counsel is, but if he said that, then booby traps are illegal.
Yeah, and he didn't say that he didn't say that he made a booby trap. He just made it. All right, he just made it. He spiked this condom with a substance that was going to irritate and injure a woman's privates, knowing that the woman had a high probability of putting the contents of the condom inside of her, which was why he put the caustic material in the condom in the first place.
You see, I don't know who his counsel is, but that was bad. He shouldn't have said that, because there's case law where people have had their properties or their businesses burglarized, and owners have, like in New York, I want to say that people were coming in from the roof. So the owner basically puts makeshift medieval kind of spikes. So when they drop down from the roof inside of his property, they would be injured. He actually ended up having to pay because he created a booby trap.
Exactly.
Him creating the booby trap and him admitting, if Drake had not admitted that he did it for that secondary reason, he could actually claim plausible deniability. But if he said that, it's a booby trap. He's pretty much screwed at this point.
Yeah, let me read what it says right here. Again, this is the article here, and it says that the woman, the model, used the bathroom after Drake and then proceeded to pour the contents of the condom into her genitalia. Mm-hmm. She immediately experienced a burning sensation and started to scream. Oh, God! Causing Drake to run into the bathroom to see what was going on. He then told the model that he poured hot sauce from a packet into the rubber to try to kill the sperm should the model try to get pregnant from the artist.
So now I want to put unless we have Drake's sworn statement that's what he did, this is hearsay.
It's absolutely hearsay. It's from an article, right?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, and I know. I would, as long as we don't have Drake saying he did it for that reason, he can wiggle through this one, because even in the court of public opinion, will this be a civil matter or a criminal matter?
Well, it depends, right? Because she's saying that she was injured. Now, most likely it's going to be civil. People are saying, well, let's be honest, like no police department is going to arrest Drake for this, right?
So it's going to likely be a civil matter.
That's exactly right.
Preponderance of the evidence. There's ways to get around this, because here's the thing. Just like I know, especially are there juries in civil trials?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, give it enough men on there who understand. Come on. This lady has a higher burden. As long as Drake doesn't admit out of his mouth, as long as he puts that finger over his lips and don't get his ego involved. Because think about it the other way. The precedence that this would set, that not only must you use a condom and protect yourself, you must also go to stage 4 biohazard level precautions to get rid of your own DNA. What are we telling men out here in the dating environment?
But listen though, Kevin, listen to what we talked about, because let's assume that he gets this woman pregnant, and just ballpark, let's assume he has to pay $20,000 a month for 18 years. Somebody added that up and it was like $4.3 million. Now, shouldn't you have to go to, what'd you say, stage 4 biohazard when you have $4.3 million on the line?
No.
Shouldn't.
Because I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because that means we're saying some children are worth more than others in this country.
They are.
Well, I know, but under the law, we don't have laws for rich and poor.
Say what?
I mean, I get what you're saying. So we're saying that if you were a more successful man, I mean, the guy, I also recall him, a part of this article, that he was very much into getting consent.
Yes.
Then the government, if we're going to prosecute men of the country this way, then we need guidelines from the government on how this Me Too shit is out of control. We're going to need we're going to need laws. We're going to need federal direction and state direction how men are supposed to approach women.
Yeah, and it seems like exactly right what you were saying, that he was very explicit about getting consent, right? Mm-hmm. But these laws do not protect us as men when it comes to our sperm. And I talked. Go ahead.
Well, this is when we as men have to protect each other on the juries, like women do. I mean, this is going to come down to, if it went to court, it will go down to, if it's going to be a jury, it's going to come down to jury selection and an argument. As long as Drake doesn't admit, we have it in the court of preponderance of evidence and public opinion. His public persona is not one of, he doesn't have a real bad history with women. And we also have to understand that we're on the other side of the Me Too pendulum. We're starting to go back to where, not back, but men are kind of getting tired of having to do all of this. Yes. What are we telling the men? So any judge would also be careful in understanding what these rulings and things would mean. So I think it's an interesting case because if it went against Drake, you think the Mike Pence rule was extreme?
Yeah.
You think the Mike Pence rule was extreme? What are we ultimately telling men? Don't have sex with women unless you're married. I mean, I don't know what else the dude could have did. Yeah, it was maybe. Let's say he got bad medical advice, or let's just say he was being petty.
Which he was. Because let's be honest, Kevin. Let's be honest. Every man would have just flushed that condom. Is that right?
No, I have fraternity brothers, and I know guys who really think this shit works, man.
Wait. So you've heard of cases. You've heard of cases where men put hot sauce in condoms?
Yeah, I went to OU during the Switzer years, brother.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I've heard. That's why when I heard it, I was like, this ain't new. It's not. But it's only a certain. Well, men with something to lose.
Why would you not flush it though?
Because again, you've heard you flush it, it may come back up, it may do this with that. You just don't know. So, like in the lab, when in the chemical lab, when you are making different substances, there are some substances that, after like ethanol, when you make it in organic chemistry, as soon as you are running through the chromatograph and it's proven that it's ethanol, you know what the lab instructor does? There's a procedure. They have to come put in a denutrient, a denaturer. I just put some denatured oil in my indoor fireplace. You know why you do that? Because if not, you'd have straight ethanol. You could drink it. People have gone to organic chemistry, learned how to do the ethanol exercise, gotten access to the lab without the instructor, and tried to make ethanol on their own, but didn't have access to the chromatograph, and they turned around and made methanol. Why? To get closest they could to moonshine, or what is it? 151. You know the 151 liquor? Mm-hmm. When you get pure ethanol, they were trying to make liquor to take to a sorority party, and they went blind. My point is, there's always denaturing something is a way of disposal. You denature the ethanol first. And then
wait. Are you saying Drake was denaturing his
I'm just saying there's lead word I come up with this. You denature ethanol before you dispose of ethanol to make sure it can't be used. Which one comes first? You could easily pour the ethanol down a drain. You could easily flush it, but you denature it. They have to do that. So bottom line is who's the burden on? Is it on Drake to make sure he handles his material in his public home, his private home by himself, or this person who's going into somebody's trash in their home? I mean, what are we really saying here?
No, Kevin, it's Drake's responsibility.
Okay. Well, we can say that.
Yeah. So because and again and honestly, when you came up the last time and you were dropping so much knowledge, you were telling this. You came up. We were talking about the Lapeef situation, how their channel had gotten temporarily taken down by this troll, and you were saying, "Listen, guys, you know what was working for you when you had 1,000 subs, 2,000 subs. You guys are growing now. You guys have to operate, in a more professional way or in a more business-like way, right?" Mm-hmm. And that's how it is with men. If you're a man and you're making, $27,000 a year, you can get away with a lot of stuff that a man making, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 can't get away with. Here we're talking about Drake. Well, he has millions and millions. He has to do things that, the security procedures that he has to take are off the charts.
And that's the ultimate thing. You had not heard of the hot sauce thing.
I hadn't.
I have. I've heard of it for decades. So that's where I'm saying, just like you hadn't heard of it, I've heard of it. This is not new to a lot of guys. So this is security. It may be ineffective security. It may be it may have been an old wives' tale or something passed down from bad advice from somebody in medical. But what it is, it's starting a conversation. Because why would a man, let's just say the other side, why would a man like Drake go through such extraordinary measures only to fall at the finish line if his intent was to get a child?
What do you mean? Like he didn't want a child, right?
Drake often has, it is rumored that Drake often has parties with beautiful Instagram models around, and he doesn't talk to any of them. They're just there more as party favors. In this story, it is very clear that Drake was extremely focused on getting consent.
True.
Came out with a condom on. And after he finished, he went through his security measures, flawed as they may be. His intent was to secure. And we're going to judge the method.
True.
He didn't intend to booby trap. He intended to secure. That's what I would argue. And I'd make the woman argue that her intent was to defraud.
Yes.